Hello, lovely people. Today, I'm going to share 9 straightforward tips to help you have a fantastic mushroom journey. This video could offer guidelines for other psychedelics like acid or ayahuasca, but they're each their own thing. All psychedelics have their own arc, intensity, duration, characteristics, and you may want to get more specific advice for those other things, but this is a decent general outline for them as well. Mushrooms, however, are more versatile. They can be more gentle and go deep, and nothing goes quite with time and nature like mushrooms do, and that's one of the reasons that I enjoy working with mushrooms so much. I'm Eric. I'm a professional psilocybin facilitator, and I run Evolve Wild, which offers multi-day nature-based journeys around the legal mushroom facilitation journey here in Oregon. I have a background in eco-psychology, and I've been working in wilderness therapy, and I've both felt and seen how consciousness-opening journeys in relation with the natural world can do so much good for people. Also, running this, I collaborate with a lot of people in the field, so I have a lot of knowledge and insights to share. I'll be offering parts of the process that us facilitators work from as a reference for best practices, and I'll reference our nature-based journeys as what I believe is the ideal container for a mushroom journey. At the end of the day, you can decide what you take from this. But if you are thinking of doing mushrooms, whether for mental health benefits or exploring the mystery that mushrooms call to, you'll want to hear these 9 tips before you go on your next journey. With that, tip number 1, clarify your intention behind the journey. Basically, why are you doing it? Is it for rec use? Are you just having fun? Is it for mental health? Are you working through anxiety, depression, or trauma? Are you working through something else, maybe pain, grief, loss, relationship end, some other issue? Are you checking in with yourself? Are you looking to explore some of the stuff maybe you're carrying that you don't need to? Are you looking to get unstuck? Are you hoping to have a mystical experience? So your intentions will dictate how you set up the journey from the beginning. You want to keep your intentions broad, as setting them dictates the process, not so much the outcome or what the mushrooms show you. They're also good to fall back on during the times that you're struggling in the journey. I'm going to reference intentions a lot, so be prepared. With that, tip number 2, find out if you're a fit for the journey. Look, the reality is some people have really negative effects from psilocybin. As a professional facilitator, the first step of the process is to screen people from doing harm. We want you to have an experience you come back better from, not worse off. If you have a family history of schizophrenia or bipolar 1, you could be at risk. There are other medications and health concerns we look at too. I know what you're thinking, but Eric, where do I get screened? Glad you asked. We have a free journey fit check form below. Fill it out. We'll send you back personalized results. Even if you're not a fit for a psilocybin experience, there are other options. So knowing your intentions will help you to stay on your path. Tip number 3, prepare aligned with your intentions. I told you. If your intention is just a rec or fun trip, you probably already know what you're going to do, and you're just asking the mushrooms to help you enjoy that thing more. I'd say a gram or so is plenty, though more experienced users may be able to do more. You're still social and can kind of deal with things at that level, but you definitely shouldn't drive. I want to reference here, microdosing has helped a lot of people with all kinds of amazing things. Still, it's slowly and subtly helping you feel into things. Having a container to go deeper can make it more powerful, but microdosing can also be something that helps people smooth over things that they really should be looking at. A deep dive really brings forward what's pulling the strings behind the scenes. Our multi-day nature-based journeys are intended for those deep dives specifically. When someone signs on with us, after their screening, we offer an in-depth preparation session where we give you a long-form questionnaire, you fill it out, send it back, and we talk about all this stuff at length. Deeper journeys can bring up a lot of stuff, so be mindful of that going in. Tip number 4, decide on your setting. This is really important and nuanced. It's probably the biggest reason people buy mushrooms and then just let them sit around in the closet getting old. You absolutely want to decide on a safe space where everyone is either on their own journey or maybe tending to the journey. If you're going for something a bit deeper, then you really want to talk with whoever you're doing it with about how you're doing it, meaning talking guidelines, music, and more. You're in a sensitive space and you want to vibe with what's happening in you. I personally typically go off on my own for the first part of the journey. Some people like being more social, but typically for larger doses, it's better to not feel forced to be social and to have your own individual space for the journey. Set up the expectations that if it feels right to be alone, you can take that for yourself without having to explain it. Music is also important here. There are a lot of considerations put into the music. You want to have something that doesn't have vocals and it's not part of your everyday music selection. You don't want to have the music bring back memories or habits or thoughts that bring you back into your everyday life. Tip number 5, be mindful about dosing. You'll hear a lot of advice about dosing, especially you want to eat an eighth or 3.5 grams, or you want to eat 5 grams. There were some books that suggested this back in the day, and people still go with that. I've personally seen this approach backfire. Now, there's more research suggesting that different things require different dosing. Like anxiety, you want a lower dose, versus depression, you want a bit more. Generally, 1 gram of dried mushrooms equals roughly 10 milligrams of psilocybin. Licensed mushroom operations in Oregon test the psilocybin content of the mushroom. You probably won't have that if you're doing it on your own, but people selling them will usually tell you these are really potent, these not so much. Counter to conventional wisdom, I'd say go with the more moderate ones. You want to know how you're dosing yourself. Don't sit on them too long, as they begin to lose potency after 6 months to a year. Last thing here, you can take a lower dose first and then decide to boost or do more later. But you can't get off that train once you're on it. So don't go overboard right out of the gate. Tip number 6, take them correctly. You've set up the space. You've worked out the music. You've decided how you'll handle the social stuff if you're doing it with other people. Now, eat them right. A lot of people think they're allergic to mushrooms because they get a fuzzy stomach when they eat them. I know I was one of those people for a long time. I now eat cleaner than when I was younger, which helps. But the big thing is, I don't try and gulp down a few whole dried mushrooms after a few chews and make a gross face about it anymore. You're more sensitive when you're on the mushrooms. Something like that could give you indigestion, and an upset stomach can overshadow a whole trip. Simple fix, grind them up and take them with some tea. Don't boil the water, as if it's too hot, you can break down the psilocybin content. I've also put them in with oatmeal and a little extra water, which was really nice as well. Also, when you take them, speak to them. Tell them your intentions. Thank them for taking you on a journey and for being awesome little things. Gratitude goes a long way. Speaking of which, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. Tip number 7, move through the journey. If there's a door, open it. Stairs, walk up. Move through the invitations that the journey offers, especially if you're going deep. I've been threatened by all kinds of creatures during my trips. Once a dragon, once a spider. I'm sure there were more. I allowed them to eat me or bite me, kill me, rather than run from them or deny them. The trip shifted afterwards, and I didn't physically die, so good news there. This could be a symbol of your ego death, so be aware of those moments, what you're holding on to, and what you can let go of to really explore the depths of the journey. Also, if you're feeling something, express it. Cry if you need to cry, yell if you need to yell, laugh if you think something's funny. If you're with other people, they should expect such things. If, on the other hand, you want to play music, sing, talk with someone, you might want to find your own space, as not everyone needs to be pulled into your personal journey. I really like doing yoga and stretches while I'm in it, particularly if I'm feeling pain or pent-up energy. But even that, I'll try and go somewhere outside of people's view if everyone is deep in their own journey. People's awareness is magnified, no matter how inward they go. So try not to make too much of a spectacle of yourself in shared spaces. Also, don't bottle yourself up at the same time either. It is a balance. You can find it. Trust in yourself. Tip number 8, make space in your life after the journey. This is actually part of your preparation, as you're probably not making big moves after a mushroom journey. Your energy is usually sapped the following day. Don't just jump back into your regular life, particularly if you're doing a deeper journey. After a mushroom journey, there's a critical period of neuroplasticity. This can last for up to 2 weeks. The first few days in particular is when things will still be coming up and working themselves out. Give all of that space. If you did it for mental health or self-exploration, you don't want to fall back into your previous habits right away. Our nature-based journeys, for example, which are designed specifically around deep mushroom journeys, go as follows. 1 day preparation in nature. Day 2, the mushroom day, taken in an intentional space with the music and safety, and we follow that up with at least 3 days in nature. Getting out into the woods for 3 days on your own when you're in a more ethereal state can be tough, but again, preparation makes all the difference. I also want to say I've done both mushrooms in nature and indoors, and the difference is that I kind of recognize patterns and I vibe more when I'm in nature. When I'm indoors, I go more inward and the hallucinations are more vivid. If you do them indoors, you're going to be pulled towards nature, so having that as part of the overall journey is going to make a big difference. If you don't have those plans, it's just going to be this longing that doesn't get fulfilled. Tip number 9, integrate your experience. This is a huge piece that people overlook. You have to follow through with what you find. A good journey will bring forward a lot from below the surface. There are massive benefits when you unpack it. Make sense of it, and implement it back into your life. Mushrooms will change your relationship with a lot of things, so some of this is just inevitable. It's remarkable how some things don't even make sense anymore after you see them in a different light. Other things are trickier. These may be things you knew you needed to work on beforehand, but they're far more apparent after the journey. This can be tough when it's a job or a relationship, and you have to navigate the real-world impacts of how you handle that. So do it mindfully. Don't just change your whole life the moment you get back, but your deeper self has told you something important. Listen to it, hold it, and see what emerges. It's not always that those things need to end, but there's probably at least a shift that needs to occur. With this, the more untethered you are, being a job or a relationship or a living situation is actually a good place to take mushrooms, as you can really explore freely what you find afterwards. Last here, there are plenty of people who can help you with your psychedelic integration. If your insurance covers mental health, there are a lot of psychedelic-informed integration psychologists, coaches, therapists, and other people in the space who can help you out there. I do hope all of this gives you direction and even momentum for your next journey. You're welcome to fill out a free journey readiness form, no matter if you end up coming out with us or not. If you do think you'd like to work together in some capacity, particularly if you'd like to do a multi-day nature-based journey in Oregon, you can also book a call with us if you prefer to talk about it. Regardless, I think everyone should do at least one deep dive into mushrooms, held in a supportive space. So I do hope this helps you get there. Thanks again for watching.